Tonyolyeyo mutima gukuba bibyeno newe bakubuganyeyo tekira kama give me love yo love Uganda. This is your boy Pato Cruz. I'm telling you that CBM TV like support sign out.
Hello our dear viewers, welcome to the CBM TV. This is a story where we bring you your personalities, your celebrities, the people you look up to, and they tell us their stories, their background, their journey, how far they have come, and what they have passed through, what they've achieved. Well, here with me, I have an amazing man, and he's going to introduce himself to us. So you're welcome.
Thank you so much for inviting me to the show. I'm so humbled and pleasure to be here.
Okay. He's going to introduce himself and tell us his name, and he will tell us more about his life, his journey. But before that, we are going to go in for a very short commercial break, and we'll be right back with you. Okay, welcome back from that commercial break, and here we meet still. As I told you, he's going to tell us his name, the background, education, everything. So you're going to tell us your real name. Yeah, I know Trek, but we want to know those real names. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much for that opportunity. Well, my true name, I'll first begin with the stage name.
Okay.
That's Trek Official. Most of my crowd knows that, and most of the people know me like that. But my real name is Derek Ocheng. Yeah, I'm a Jab, and I'm proud of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jab. Where do these people come from?
Japadolas, these are guys from Tororo.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So you're mixed blood.
Yeah, I just kind of play it in between because it's a Randy and a Jab.
Okay. Your mom is a Randy.
Suddenly, there was a story about it that she passed away. Yeah, but I'm proud to be one who was born by her. And it's a great opportunity, to live in a world when you know that someone who used to care about you is having some disability in there.
Okay. People want to know out there who is Trek and what is Trek doing? Comedian, an artist? Yes.
Well, what I can start with is to say Trek is a brand.
Okay.
Yeah, but a brand which is made by Derek Ochen. You understand? It's just a brand that is built by Derek Ochen. So Trek comes to be a name that I gave myself after thinking about all that I've been through, and I just said I'll never back out of anything if I've started it. you know and trek simply means someone who's moving on, like trekking. I don't know whether if you did history, you remember back then, great trek. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like the guys moving from those ends to the other ends. So I just decided to use that specific name because it helps me move on. Like me myself, I move myself on. That's the simple meaning of trade. And another thing, as I've told you, it is a brand name, but Derek Cheng is the one who built it. So it sometimes sounds so big, but when you reach to the owner, you gotta look
I know.
about his body. But my simple background is that I went to so many schools actually, from primary, secondary. I changed a lot of schools.
Why? Well,
Reason being not even being stubborn, but reason being like, you know, we used not to have a specific home. We used to rent, shift from one place to another. So time came on when we first settled in Entebbe, and then I got some schools in Entebbe. I went to Chitala SS, Chitala Senior Secondary School, that's in Entebbe, Chitala. Then I finished my HSC, that's in Rubini. the stubborn boys of Kampala. But
Yeah.
it was a very good journey for me to walk. It was a very good journey. So right now I'm pursuing a diploma in journalism and mass communication. That's at YMCA currently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, like would want to know, like you're an artist, you're a comedian, cause I see a lot of things. I see TikTok, I see songs.
Yeah.
So you do
So,
both? Oh,
as I've told you, Trek is a big brand.
okay, yes.
If someone talks about Trek, it's a big brand. So, Trek is a music artist. Trek is a skits player, like I play skits. Trek is a script writer. Trek is a songwriter. Trek is a promoter. Trek is a producer. I mean,
A
it
lot
is
of
a
things.
brand. Yeah, like you do a lot of things, provided it gives you money and you can earn from it. Instead. So we get to do a lot, but at the end of the day, we all have one goal, is to chase for money. Mm.
Okay, before we go further, you told us about your education, but you didn't mention about the primary school.
Oh, primary schools. With primary schools, I went to school in Orah, that's back home. That was St. Peter's Manjas. I went to that school. Then I went to Osia Primary School, it's also in Orora. And actually, that's where I completed my primary secondary. Yeah.
Okay. Trek, you're an artist, you're a skit player, you're a comedian, you're everything. So how do you balance these things?
Well, you just have to give yourself time. You know, it's always a question that I always ask those people who also ask me that. If if you can't balance a lot of things in life right now, how about when you were in high school and you used to offer like 12 or 16 subjects? How did you balance that? So that's the question I also sometimes pose to those guys. But it's just a simple matter of giving yourself some free time. You sit down, settle and do this and this and this. But right now, what I'm concentrating on more so much is music writing. That's really cool content, and then giving out myself, like doing some music projects and also.
Okay, so when you're entering this music industry,
Mm.
did you look up to someone and say, I want to be like this person, or there was someone that inspired you to do this, or it was a talent?
First of all, I can say it's a talent, though it was also inspired by someone. Because all of us have inspiration or
Yes.
people that we always look up to. And me myself, I was inspired by myself, but someone also inspired me. I used to look so much of Eddie Kenzo inspired me a lot. Reason being of his music, the way he does it and the way it sounds. It used so much to give impact in my life, and I really felt good about it. So I used to follow so much of Eddie Kenzo. I loved Eddie Kenzo, and then I started loving Justin Bieber, though we were still young by then. But his music would give me power, to move on. Then I had an artist in Nigeria I used to follow so much. That was, I used to follow Davido. I don't know. You remember the song Aye?
Yeah.
That song vibed so much, and I really fell in love with it. And those are one of the things that brought me up to fix myself, and I felt that confidence that if this guy can sing like this, I mean, I can also sit down and write some good lyrics and sing. So that's it.
So when you entered the let's say the studio and say, I'm going to start recording, how did you feel? We want to know, like, were you excited? Something like that.
Well, I can, Orah, what I can tell you is that always, for the first time, if you're doing something in life, it's always hard as starting up something. But the advantage I can tell you I had is that, I got used to the studios because first of all, I didn't start by just singing. I also started as a backup artist. That was in Abbey Records studio for Dr. Fizo. I don't know if I remember
Yeah.
Dr. Fizo. That's where I started from as a backup artist. But then time came on later on when I just say if I can back up some people's music, then I can also sing myself and come up with something good.
Okay. Thank you with that. And with that, we are going to go in for a very short commercial break and we'll be right back. Not forgetting, we are proudly sponsored by the Palm Hotel. It's located in Rashid Khamis Road. We are also sponsored by the CBM Brothers, Classic Brothers Mountain. You want to do journalism, production, everything. They give out each and everything. So look out for them and you get what you want to get.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Eyo ye salamu ekwaniriza ku Bukari Junior School nakuwadde bulenga. Tusomesa abaana okuva ku nursery paka P7 oluwalabu n'oluzungu tukwasisa Qur'ani ku mutima insha Allah. Tuli ku musingi gwa Buyisiramu n'abenzikiriza endala tubakkiriza. Tulina compound engazi esobozesa omwana okwetaaya. Ebisulo bituukagana n'omutindo bametroni bafaayo ddala. Abasomesa basheyi ne bashekati batendeke ddala. Omuzikiti guli munda mu ssomero, amazzi security n'obuyonjo biri gulugulu. Abaana balya ku balanced diet. Library, eddwaliro, kantini ne computer lab biri ku mutindo. Empisa, eddiini n'ebyemizannyo tubisaako nnyo essira ate nga fees zisoboka. Omuzadde londa Bukari Junior School and Quran Memorization Center nakuwadde bulenga tojja kwejjusa.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Tumwana ku Bukari ekiseera bibyo maaso.
Tukusaba otutuukirire ku nnamba z'essimu zino wammanga 0703131327 oba 07728608M. Bukari Junior School. Education is life.
Nonyolyeyo mutima gukuba bibyeno newe bakubuganyeyo tekira kamangi bilabo yo Walap Uganda. This is your boy Pato Cruz. I'm telling you that CBM TV like support. Sign out.
Be like, that's your first project. No one is going to disappoint you about your song, except if you find someone negative about you. But if someone knows that you're doing the song for the first time, of course everyone is going to appreciate you. But I felt so happy, me myself, doing the song. But after some times when I sat down and went through my lyrics and so on, I got to discover that somewhere some lyrics were wrong, some sounds were not produced well. So I started to associate with producers, I started to associate with other artists to get to know what really is on the ground, what is good for people to listen, what kind of music can you do, and generally focus. Yeah.
Okay, tell us. We want to know which thing have you ever done in life and you sit back and regret why I've done this, or you sit back and say, I wish I didn't do this.
One thing I've ever done, it sounds so weird, it sounds so bad, but underestimating someone is the worst mistake that I've ever done. And if it's to regret, I still regret up to now. Never underestimate anyone in the world.
So someone
Because,
who's
you know,
out there.
this goes to everyone who's watching us right now. Thank you so much if you're watching. Thank you for tuning on. But my piece of advice to everyone watching us is never estimate anyone in the world. Be it a lame person, be it a poor man, be it a fisherman, be it someone who's not in anything. Never estimate someone, because you never the world changes. You never know where you might meet that person in the next future. And trust me, if people believe in you, make sure you keep that belief in yourself and believe in yourself in everything that you always do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we want to go a little behind where we started.
Yeah.
Check, were you this stubborn child at home or at school, or you are this silent fan at home at school? How was you when you were growing up?
Okay, I didn't want to bring out this from myself, but straight to the point, I was stubborn.
How?
Because I'm one kind of guy who, from my childhood age, like let me say when I was 12, I used not to sit at home. Till now, I don't sit at home. I'm never up and down, up and down, up and down, and I make people shout. Like I make my dad shout, like asking me where are you going, where are you from, every time. So that made me someone who is hectic to be with. But time came in when people got used of me, because that's now the real me. I can't change it. Yeah, till now I'm one kind of person who is ever busy up and down. Doing this, doing this. Sometimes I'm shooting a video. Sometimes I'm in the studio making some audio. Sometimes I'm in for business. So I took that. What if a child is to change? A child is always to change, not past 12 years. But if that child passes 12 years,
You will never
trust
change.
me, he will never change. You just waste your time trying to groom that child. You understand? Yeah.
Okay, another question was like, which behavior did you have when you were growing up? Because kids always have different behaviors, torturing one another, like which behavior, stealing. So which behavior did you have when you were growing up?
I had the behavior of teasing
Teasing.
others. I was this kind of guy whereby I'm stubborn, and anyone I find, even if you're tall and you do what, I'll just be like, hey, I'm going to beat you. Yeah, and I did that for some time. People reached a time when they started fearing. When I say I'm going to beat you, I'm going to beat you. But I used just to tease them, because if you see the guy who's saying he's going to beat you, he's just a small guy like this. So I used to have that habit of teasing others. But I try to avoid it so much. I used not to do it at school, because I reached that school actually and I became a leader. Yeah, and they always say a leader has to inspire others. So I reached a stage where I had to stop teasing and just inspire others. To stop teasing each other.
And be an example to
Yeah,
others.
be an example.
Okay, another question was like, when you're growing up with your parents, how many were you at home, or you were the only child at home?
Wow. Uh, Point of correction, I grew up with one parent.
Okay.
That's my dad. And
Oh, sorry, yeah.
we are six in the family. I'm the second born. Yeah, but we grew up with our dad. But he was also always kind of busy working abroad and so on. So sometimes what I can say is so much I grew up with my elder sister, because she's the one who took care of us ever since my mom passed on, and she raised us actually. So my dad came in when we needed fees, tuition, and something else.
Are you the only child that that came out with that. Like I want to sing, I want to be an artist, I want to do this, or also others do it, or they are also in their ways.
What I can tell you is that, when you are an elder, you always inspire others.
Yes.
Or when you are, let me say, if you are an iPhone, you always inspire others. First, when I started my music at home, no one knew about it because I did it from them. Actually, my dad has just got to know that I'm into music just recently. But I did music for some good years, something like 5 years. Then my dad getting to know that I was into music, he just came to me recently. So my other siblings, sometimes they follow up to what you do, but when time comes, when someone grows, people do change their ways. You never know, someone may be like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. You understand? So right now what I can say, they stopped looking at Trek like as an artist, but now they're also taking their ways. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you gave them what to do. Like, they look up to you.
I always give them advice. People who look at me and look up to me and be like, I want to be like Trey or Derek. Yeah? I tell them this life is good of being Trey, but you don't know the life that Trek is passing through to be the Trek or to be the brand that you're hearing.
Yeah.
So always mind of your ways. If you're looking up to someone, how is that person making you to be that person? Don't just look at someone and you be like, I want to be that person, when you don't know how does it make you to be him.
As we conclude, we want to go in for a very short commercial break, and we'll be right back with Trek.
Noonya oli eyo mutima gukuba bibyeno newe bakubuganyeyo tekira kamangi bilabo yo Well Up Uganda. This is your boy Pato Cruz. I'm telling you that CBM TV, like, support, sign out.
I have a lot of songs.
Yeah, just
So when I start to select them from my head, I ask. But anyway, let me just give you this project. It's called So Fine. Yeah, it's a recently released project, but it's a good one. Yeah, it goes. Girl, when I'm with you, I feel so fine. I tell them what I go, I feel so high. When loving to got to say yeah. No mukwano tukukulenga biringa tufitinga. Njagala nkulabeko not far away. From Ginger Road, njagala nkulabeko one and only. Ooh. Girl from Kampala, I head over to Kigali. I'm on fire, burning yearning for you. Them so fine, when I wake up early. Them so fine, my African beauty. Ono demwa refining, omukwana ina fining. Nimukunda fine. Everything is fine. Uno demo hari fine. Omukwana ina fine. Nimukunda fine. Everything is fine. Yeah.
Wow, that's a very nice song.
Yeah.
Trick you can sing.
Thanks a lot for appreciating.
Yeah. All the time I've been with you, you've never sang, but anyway, it's a very nice song.
You know, music is interesting if you give yourself time. If you love what you're doing, music is interesting. And if you want to make it more interesting, yeah, you know, you've got to learn some instruments.
Yeah.
So when you're always singing, you know, an instrument can give you some company of your music. Yeah, but you know, I made my music fun that I decided to even join acting. That's why you see I'm on TikTok doing some skits and so on. So at times I sit and write my own, you know, my own scripts, but it feels so amazing about it.
Okay, like we want to know which challenges have you faced in this entertainment industry?
Challenges I face, you know, there are normal challenges as others face. I've faced the challenge of, you know, undermining me. Some people used not to believe in me. Face the challenge of finance. You know, when you start up music, if you don't have money, I don't know what you're doing in music because music needs some good investment. Yeah. So there are lots of challenges out there that I want to mention a lot because some people know, but majorly the challenges that I've seen is that undermining, not believing in yourself, not having enough finance to fund yourself. Yeah.
And the things that you have achieved as you and you say, I've got this through singing, I've got this through doing this. Ever since I entered the music industry, this is what I've got as strength.
I've got a lot from my music. I've met a lot of people. That's one connection, you know, connecting with different people. I thank God for that. And actually, I got even something from my music, my very own music, because you know I used to perform, do performances. But now this COVID is the problem. We can no longer perform anymore. But I used to perform, and I used to get some good money. And me myself have achieved the dream that I always had of dressing up myself.
Okay.
And you know, starting up that independent life that you want to ride alone. You know, when you're doing music, in some families they see you as a yeah. You understand? So if you're home and you're doing music, trust me, people will always have to be on your neck. People are like, this guy is like this and this, so on. So if you move out and you find yourself somewhere, you stand. Yeah, it feels good when you do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, which people have you met ever since you entered the industry?
I've worked actually with different people, a lot of people, but one of them who was so inspiring is Mr. Johnson. Yeah, Mr. Johnson. He's a like let me say a professional producer of Black Market Records, the one of Daddy Andre. It's one of the people that I've worked with that I feel like, yeah, this is good. I've worked with Oceans, that's a black market leader that's in marketing and so on. I've worked with Eliakis, I've worked with Yese Oman Rafiki, that best songwriter that people know and want to meet. Yeah, I've worked with Atin, I've worked with Naisim. I've met a lot of people. You know, it feels so interesting. I really thank God for that. That this is music leading me through this journey.
That's very nice. And as we conclude, which catalyst can you have that you want to push out to the people out there, the youth that are seeing you right now? They want to know how has Trek survived through doing this? How has Trek stood with being there? And one more last question. I think someone out there. Oh. That question will never miss in all our questions. Yes, someone might be there and I feel that track. So, last them.
That's an interesting question. I can say I'm seeing someone. I don't hide myself.
Okay.
Yes, fine, I'm seeing someone, but I believe that person becomes official when the ring is on her finger. You can't just promise someone's daughter without that ring. So that's why I always treasure so much. If at least we are engaged and I know we are getting married soon, then you some.
But remember that getting married, it's a process.
It's a process, yeah. It's a process, yeah. But some drop out of it before it will be complex. But I'm seeing some. I won't deny that.
Nana, let's get straight. There.
So to come to the conclusion, thank you so much everyone who was giving me their attention. Thank you for always tuning on CBM TV and always keep it locked. My piece of advice to the youth watching me outside there is that never let change to change you. Yeah, I met one man from USA and he gave me that proverb. He told me he made it himself. Yeah, he told me, as the people, we see change as a big thing. And when it occurs in our lives, we see that it is something big. But we forget that we are the ones who caused that change. So he always told me to never let change to change you. So if you're a youth outside there, work so much that you change the change instead of changing you. Understand? And another thing, believe in yourself in everything that you're doing. Oba oli mukuwa chapati, oba oli musiisi wa kagaali, buli kimu wekkiririzeemu muganda wange. This is life. You always have this life, but just believe in yourself. One day, one time, you'll make it.
Okay, and the people that are out there that want Trek's music, where do they find it?
Trek's music is circulated all over the platform of music.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah,
thank you for coming. And thank you everyone that has been watching us. And please tell a friend to keep on subscribing to our YouTube channel, and that is CBM TV Uganda. And follow us on all our social media platforms, and that is YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We are everywhere. And not forgetting, we are proudly sponsored by the Palm Hotel, Broma Modeling Agency, and CBM Finance. You want to save your money, you want to learn how to save, please, CBM Finance is here for you. And not forgetting, we are proudly sponsored by Ritah Orah Fashion, our Nyambaza, as usual. And not forgetting, I want to send all my greetings to all my friends that are always keeping on watching. Please, thank you so much for the love and keep supporting us. That is the story with me, your girl, Ritah Orah. It's signing out.
Nonyolyeyo mutima gukuba bibyeno newe bakubuganyeyo tekiraka give me love. Yo, I love Uganda. This is your boy Pato Cruz. I'm telling you that CBM TV, like, support, sign out.